Hi. So today I want to get across an idea that I've been trying to get across for a while, but I couldn't find the words to. And it's the difference between fun, passion, and motivation. So one thing that I hear a lot of people say, and I will admit that sometimes I may have said this and I may have said it because I couldn't find the proper words to get the idea across. I hear people saying things like, you need to find what you're doing fun. If you want to do something for a career, if you want something to be your job, you have to be passionate about what you're doing. You have to find it fun and exciting and this, that, and the other. And this is not something that I necessarily fully agree with. I will agree with the idea that if you're getting into tech, just because it's the right thing to get into, because the newspaper says it is, because because you read some article somewhere that says that the field is growing and there's high salaries in it, you're not going to succeed. You need to have an internal drive. You need to have an internal drive to succeed, to learn, to solve problems in order to be good in this field. And that has to come from within. It can't be, I need money to pay my rent. It can't be, I want to make a steady salary to pay my family. It has to be, man, I'm really pissed off that this type of program has never been done before. I want to write this. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to figure out what I need to figure out to make this work. Or I'm pissed off that everybody says this brand of products is unfixable. I'm going to figure out how to make those products repairable, and I'm going to show the world. And then the money will come at the end of it. Jim Camp has this good book called Start With No, where he talks about valid versus invalid goals. And to paraphrase, he said something like, I want to make $1 million is an invalid goal. I would like to create the most fuel-efficient car is a valid goal. So when you have a valid goal, the money will follow, but I want $1 million is not a goal. The same way that I want to make money in tech is not a goal. I want to make $60,000 in programming is not, again, that's not a goal. I want to make the best multi-platform video and audio and screen capture software is a valid goal. And then you may be able to make money as a result of it. But you can't make money off of this my goal is to make $60,000 a year. That's not a goal. You can't work to accomplish that. You have to accomplish something that will then bring you the money. But getting to the point of the video about passion, motivation, and fun. Everybody says that it has to be something you're passionate about, it has to be something that you find fun. And the one thing that I find nobody mentioning over the course, or of all the people that say this, because by the way, all the people who say this are people who are good and well accomplished in their fields already. They don't tell you that in the beginning, you're not going to find it fun. And what they don't tell you is that in the beginning, that they didn't find it fun. Why don't you think about this? Programming, engineering, manufacturing, architecture. These are difficult fields to get into. These are fields that you're not going to be good at just because you open AutoCAD or because you open a PCB design software because you pick up a soldering iron. You're not going to become an amazing programmer because you read a book and open Notepad++. You're not going to make the next Linux kernel because of that. It's going to take a lot of time to learn. And during the time that you're learning, you're not going to be good at what you're doing. You're going to be good after you learn, but in the beginning, you're going to suck at whatever it is you're doing. And during that beginning time that you suck, it's not going to be fun. I can say that I find it fun when I fix MacBook motherboards right now, for several reasons. Firstly, because I'm good at it, I can make $200 to $400 in 10 minutes of my time. I make money off customer. That's great. The customer that I said $200 to $400 to was told $750 to $1250 by Apple. I saved the customer 60 to 80%. The customer is very happy because they saved money. So not only did I make money, but they saved money, therefore they're happy. I kept a device out of a landfill. I can feel good about what I've done for the world. And there's also the fun fact that everybody says this is not a fixable product. It's impossible to fix that. So I get to prove that wrong, and then I get to showcase how wrong that is to the world when I make a video about it, which then makes it even that much more fun. The reason it's fun is because I can solve that problem in 10 to 20 minutes, because I'm good enough at what I do and I'm experienced enough now that it's an easy to solve problem. But what most people don't tell you about is the beginning. What most people don't tell you about is the first time they sat down. And it took them almost 6 months to figure out how to solder a QFN package. During the time that they were doing that, they were destroying every single one of their practice boards. What most people don't tell you about is the time that they spent, or about 5 days sitting down for 12 hours a day straight to figure out that RTC reset, and system RTC reset, and that the RTC clock circuit had something to do with the PM sleep S4L signals. They don't tell you about that. They don't tell you about how the time that the pull-up resistor was being pulled down by the capacitor by it from 3.1 volts to 2.9 intermittently because of a bad ceramic, that could cause that issue. They don't tell you about the fact that that wasn't fun. Staying at work until 4 in the morning wasn't fun. Skipping meals wasn't fun. My health going downhill wasn't fun. Taking a cab ride home at 5 in the morning when I had to be up again at 9 wasn't fun. And doing all of that bullshit to have accomplished nothing was not fun. But nobody tells you about that. They just say, you should get into this. This is the right field for you if you're passionate about it. This is the right, if you find a job that you find fun, you're never going to work a day in your life. You find it fun once you become good at it. And you have to work at it to become good at it. You're not going to be good at basketball the first day that you pick up the basketball. You're not going to be an Olympic class runner the first time that you ever go outside and decide to run. I find running to be great fun and a great stress relief, besides the fact that my leg is injured. When it wasn't injured, I found running amazing. It was a great relief of stress. It made me feel better about myself. I was able to go to sleep when I would have issues sleeping. Running is the best. I find it fun. I find it fun because I'm good at it. I can run from work home 4 or 5 miles, no problem, without huffing and puffing and feeling like I'm going to die. The first time I went running, and I felt my bones running up against my ribs and these cramps, and my heart was pounding, and I couldn't catch my breath, and my calves were in pain, and my knees were in pain, and my feet were in pain, and I was sweating, and I felt like I was going to die. And I realized I was only 4 blocks from work, and I still had 4.5 miles left to go. Yeah, there wasn't any passion there. No, I can't say I found that fun, and I definitely can't say that a day later that I was excited to go do it again. It wasn't about the excitement, it wasn't about the fun, and it wasn't about the passion. It was about the self-motivation to solve a problem. I was self-motivated to solve the issue of the motherboard not working. It pissed me off so much that this device, everybody said that this device was unfixable, and I knew that there was another company filled with scam artists 2 miles away from me that was able to do it. That motivated me. I wasn't passionate about reading a 75-page schematic. I wasn't excited to stay up until 5 a.m. when I had to be up again at 9, and I did not find it fun missing meals, missing sleep, wasting money on cab rides, all for it to end in failure. It wasn't about the fun or the passion or the excitement. It was about the motivation to solve a problem. What you need in order to be successful, and what you need in order to learn, is motivation. Not fun, not passion, not excitement. Motivation to solve the problem. And I still remember that when I decided that I was going to get in a C. I don't find reading through, 6,000-page Notepad++ files fun, or C files fun. I'm not passionate about waking up at 3 in the morning when I can't sleep and deciding, let's figure out what all these functions do. But I was self-motivated to solve an issue with Open Broadcast. This is what actually got me into this. A long time ago, Open Broadcast, the software I used to do these videos, it had this issue where when I would hit stop recording and then hit start again, it would overwrite the file that I just made. So let's say I set it to save to recording.mov, right? And then I hit stop recording. If I don't rename that file and I hit start again, it will overwrite the file that I was writing to. And that's long since been fixed. Like, it was fixed years ago. But that pissed me off. And I thought to myself, this is open source software. I'm not trying to change the algorithms used for ProRes or X264 compression. I'm not trying to, change the type of driver used to put the image on the screen. I want to change the file name. And I'm embarrassed to say that I never figured it out, but the reason that I learned a decent amount of what I learned, again, I didn't know what an array was, I didn't know what printf meant, I didn't know what the plus in front of a variable meant or declaring variables or any of that. I was clueless as a programmer. But the way I was able to learn a lot of these small things, even though I didn't solve the problem, was through self-motivation. Motivation to solve the problem was what brought me to learning something. Not fun, not passion, not excitement. Because there's nothing fun about being clueless. There's nothing fun about reading the Wikipedia definition of what something is and not understanding a word of it. There's no fun sitting at a motherboard for 2 months trying to get one fucking 28-pin chip soldered to the board, and over 2 months not being able to solder it onto the board, only to realize that you have the wrong type of hot air station, and then to buy the right type of hot air station, and then you can finally replace that one chip. Then you figure out that it wasn't that fucking chip all along. It was 2 resistors next to it. But you figured that out a month later when you figured out what those 2 resistors in the circuit were for. It has to be about self-motivation. With me, it wasn't about practically solving the problem. If it was simply about making the $200, I would have given up a long time ago. It pissed me off so much that there was a problem in the world that I couldn't figure out. I would think to myself, there are other people out there that are regular people, they're humans, part of the same species that I'm a part of that can figure this out, and I can't? Are you kidding me? That irritated me. That motivated me to then come up with a solution to the problem. But don't get it twisted. It wasn't fun, it wasn't excitement, and it wasn't passion that got me good at what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is a sustainable business in Manhattan and paying bills and paying employees off of it and teaching a class on. It wasn't fun, it wasn't excitement, it wasn't passion. It was motivation. Motivation and passion are different things. It's easy to be passionate about something when you're good at it. It is difficult to be passionate about something when for 2 months straight you fail consistently at it. I don't find failure to be fun. I don't find failure to be exciting, and I'm not passionate about waking up to fail. If I only pursued crafts or ideas out of fun and passion, I would be playing video games right now. I don't find this fun. I have a confession here for you. I have a confession for all the makers, all the fixers, all the do-it-yourselfers in these communities. I don't find repair to be fun or exciting. In and of itself, repair is not fun. Making money off of repair is fun. Helping people is fun. Knowing that I'm proving wrong, this long-standing bullshit that new surface mount technology is too confusing, there's no documentation, it's all too small, it's just unfixable. Proving that wrong, that's fun. And educating and entertaining an audience of 190,000 people, YouTube revenue aside, because the YouTube revenue is kind of shit anyway, this is fun and rewarding in its own right. The actual repair of the power supply is not fun. So funny thing here, I just did that video on not wasting money on erroneous shit that you don't need and how my computer crashes every now and then, and I don't care because I don't make enough YouTube money off of this crap yet to justify buying this balls to the wall gaming rig or whatever and to buy lighting or set up lighting for the channel. Go fucking figure. The second I say that on camera, the power supply dies. So I was at a point where I could turn it on 50% of the time by hitting the power button. Then right after I did that video, I'm at a point where it almost never turns. Yeah, I hit the power button and it turns on, but it doesn't post, and it's just totally fucked. So I open the top of the power supply, and I get to the point where I'm just about to take it off and start measuring shit. I'm like, wait a second. I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this? I don't find this fun. This is not exciting. I could figure it out. I could damn sure figure out what's wrong with that power supply, but I don't want it. I'm not going to make any money. Not going to help anybody from it. I don't care. I'm not a maker. I'm not a fixer. I'm not a do-it-yourselfer. And I'm not part of that community. I respect that community. I want that community to have I want to benefit that community. I want to contribute to that community. But I'm not somebody who gains personal excitement from the sole act of fixing a PC board. I enjoy solving a new puzzle that I haven't solved before. This is a puzzle I've solved over 6,000 times. It's not fun anymore. I enjoy helping others, not helping anybody by fixing this damn power supply. And at the end of a 12 or 16-hour workday, I'd just rather spend $100 of the money that I made on some new Corsair, gold power supply than fix this shit. And so I had to bring a screwdriver home from work just to put the new one in the computer because I don't even have a screwdriver at home. What I find fun, what I find fun is listening to the Tori Amos live 1992 Montreal concert. What I find fun is like Rachel Tucker singing in the park, seeing a new Broadway musical, going to the gym, going running, or starting out new business ideas, talking to friends who are moving their business into new places. Disney World. But fixing electronics in and of itself is not something I find fun. It's not what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about Disney World. I can't get Disney World as a job. I'm passionate about seeing Broadway shows. I don't know how I can get paid to watch Rachel Tucker perform Wicked. You know, it's like, if I focused on what was fun and exciting, I wouldn't make any money. I focus on what I am self-motivated to do, what I am motivated to solve, the problems that I see existing in the world, and how can I be a part of solving these issues? Motivation is what's going to do it for you. And that's what, because I hear so many people say that you need to find it fun and exciting and to be passionate about it. It's easy to say that when you're good at it. If I've said that in the past and I didn't clarify exactly what I meant, I apologize. I'm sorry if I was wrong in my presentation and I gave you the wrong idea. I'm sorry for that. But I don't want to give you the idea that when I started out that it was all fun and games and excitement. No, it was torture. It was misery. It was staying up all night. It was having the wrong tool. It was banging my head against the wall until I was so mentally exhausted that I would get on the wrong train, only to realize that it was because I was using the wrong tool that I was mentally exhausting myself. It has to come from inside, self-motivation. And this is why I think that a lot of these, how do I put it? Like when I was looking at Learning C, I saw a lot about these training boot camps. And the thing that I think is BS about a lot of the training boot camps is that they seem, and I could be wrong here, but they seem to cater to individuals who read in the paper that programming is this great job that you can make $80,000 at it. Yeah, I'm a manager of a bowling alley and I got laid off, but I see this programming thing as something, let's go there. They're not motivated to stay up until 3 in the morning to learn what the functions mean so that they can figure out how to make open broadcast or save to a new file. Whether you're successful at it or whether you fail, that's not what's important. What's important is that you have that drive, that motivation within you to get better at something, regardless of fun and regardless of money. When you have that, you are going to be successful at what you're doing. When you're going to some class where you expect that after you go for 2 months, okay, I have my paper, they taught me coding, I'm going to get my $120K a year job now. That's not how it works out, because if you lack that internal drive and that internal motivation to solve a problem, you're not going to learn anything when you go to those places, and you're not going to really accomplish anything at the jobs that you go to. It has to be about that internal drive and that internal motivation. The motivation is far more important than excitement, fun, or passion. All the excitement and the fun and the passion, again, when I can make $200 in 10 minutes, excitement. When I see that the customer is happy, that's fun. And when I see that it pisses off Fruity Inc., that I'm able to fix some of their products and show people how to fix their products, that gives me something to be passionate about. But the act in and of itself of running a wire underneath a chip that has 96 balls and having it touch ball 95 without touching ball 96, or it'll short out and I gotta do it all over again. That's not fucking fun. I don't find reballing an SMC fun. I don't find BGA rework fun. I don't find like soldering QFN packages that are right next to other things that I can't heat fun. Jessa does not find removing underfill to get to some PMIC or some shit on an iPhone. She doesn't find that fun. She finds reviving the data fun. When you're good at it, it's fun. There's no excitement in staying up until 4 in the morning only to realize that you didn't get somebody's data. The person that you didn't get the data for is going to leave you a bad review, and that you don't get paid for it. That's not fun. It's about motivation. It's about motivation and drive. They said you can't recover the data. My goal is to recover the data. I'm motivated to recover that data. Let's go recover that data. It ain't fun to chip away at underfill to recover that data. It ain't fun reballing the fucking Samsung PMIC pyramid piece by piece. It's the outcome is fun. It's easy to talk about fun after you've won. And it's a shame and a crime that people, after they've won, once they're at a point that they can find it fun, once they've long forgotten about the pain, the misery, and the bitterness of defeat when you're first trying to learn something new, it's a crime that they're talking to those people and saying, you should find this fun or else you're not going to be successful. Man, fuck you. It's easy for you to say that this is fun. It's easy to say that you're passionate about it when you're already good at it. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to the first time that you tried to shoot a basket. Let's go back to the first time that you tried to solder a QFP package. Let's go to the first time that you tried to do BGA rework by ham. Let's go back to the first time that you tried to debug the Linux kernel. Let's see how much fun you had. I don't think those people that are telling you that you need to find what you're doing fun, that you won't succeed because you don't have enough passion. Let's see where their passion was. But they forgot about that. And that's one of the reasons I think these repair videos, as poorly produced, as poorly edited, as poorly filmed as they are doing well, because one thing that I don't think I've ever forgotten about, I don't think I forgot what it's like to look at that schematic and be clueless. I didn't forget what it was like to try to put together a mic preamp based on the THAT, a chip that was similar to the THAT 1512. Most basic shit in the world. The fucking Apple genius could put this together. It's so easy. Not get any of it right. After 3 hours and be picking up more fucking FM radio than the microphone. I remember what it's like to fail. I remember it like it was just yesterday. I remember looking at that sheet and damn near wanting to cry because I would look up what this component is supposed to do, what this circuit is supposed to do, and the damn explanation of what the circuit is supposed to do was even more convoluted than the circuit in and of itself. And that was inside of a damn textbook labeled Basic Electronics. I remember how shitty that felt, and I try to speak from that perspective when I'm talking to you, because I know that when you're watching these videos because you want to learn. You want to learn. You're coming from a humble place of not knowing what you're doing, and you want to learn from somebody who remembers what it was like to be in that humble place when you don't know what you're doing. That's why I think some of these videos are successful, because you can pick one of these videos that I have up, having no idea what a buck converter is, having no idea what a DC to DC boost circuit, or current sensing, or step-down transformer is for, or any of the, or or how a transformer is going to change the impedance or affect the load and audio. You can come to my videos without any knowledge of that and kind of get an idea of what's going on. I think that's what, or maybe I'm just delusional. Maybe it's just the fucked up YouTube algorithm. Who knows? But if you get anything out of this video, the point I want you to get out of it, motivation is more important than passion, fun, and excitement. Don't let other people tell you what you can't do or what you shouldn't be doing. If you believe that something that you're doing is viable and you genuinely want to learn it, and you're being honest with yourself about the fact that what you're doing is viable, fucking go for it. That's what I'm doing with C. Man, I suck at C. I'm sitting here next to this little tutorial where they have like the problem and you hit the solution button. I'll sit here for 3 hours before I hit the solution button. And I just feel so fucking dumb where it's like, oh, I was supposed to put the variable with a plus here. But let's see. Hopefully I can learn it. We'll see. I just want to see if I can teach myself a new thing. Most of the audio electronic stuff was self-taught. A lot of this was self-taught. And I really just want to keep flexing that part of my brain where I'm challenging myself at new things. And man, I suck at programming even worse than I suck the first time I ever tried to solder a QFN with the 1 or 2 millimeter nozzle on the Hakko A51. But I'm still going to try. I'm still going to put in the effort every day. And I want you to put in that effort too.